In this case, the flowers are present in the trimerous condition. In monocotyledons now, we are going to study as a representative only two families. One family which is belonging to the obviously Calycinae series, and today we are going to study the family Canaceae. Now remember, Canaceae family is also a subfamily of a major family, Gingiberaceae. Gingiberaceae means the family of ginger, and the Gingiberaceae family, it contains three families. Gingiberaceae, another subfamily is Mosaceae, Mosa means kid, and the third family is Canaceae. So we are going to study the family Canaceae now. The Canaceae or Cana family is a monotypic family. Monotypic means the family contains only single genus. It is containing a single genus Cana with about 60 species. The original zone of the Cana is a tropical and subtropical America. One species of Carina dentata is of a tropical African origin. Cana indica is a favorite garden plant cultivated in almost all the parts of the world. Again, Cana is not producing the true seeds, but its cultivation is continued because of the vegetative propagation from the underground stem. The plant is a perennial herb, or it is a shrub. It can't be called as a shrub because it is not woody. That's why it is called a perennial herb. The stem is rhizomatous. It is underground and rhizomatous. Leaves, they are large in size. They are cauline. Cauline means they are aerial. They are foliaceous. That is, they are leaf-like. They are alternate and mostly belong to broadly elliptic size of the lamina. So the size of the lamina is elliptic. They are distinctly differentiated into sheath. That is, they are having the leaf sheath at the base. So obviously they are exstipulate. The petiole and lamina, they are having the sheath, petiole and blade. So obviously sheath is the which is present at the base. The petiole is present distinctly, and the blade is present at the top. They are pinnately veiled with a prominent midrib. So obviously it is a parallel venation with the prominent midrib. And the leaves are pulvinous, like swelling. So the leaves are swollen at the base. That is, at the base of juncture of the petiole and lamina, we can see the swollen node-like structure. And that's why it's called the pulvinous structure. Now the Cana is very common to you. You can see what you see a structure. The two components. आपण एक काम करूया. फिगर मध्ये बघत असताना दोन पद्धतीने बघूया. हा डावीकडचा जो स्टॉक आहे, या स्टॉक मध्ये तुम्ही दोन्ही बाजूनी बघा. खालच्या बाजूला तुम्हाला त्या पाकळ्या दिसतात छोट्या, आणि त्याच्या शेजारी पण एक इन्फ्लोरेसन्स दिसतोय अनओपन्ड. याच्यामध्ये पण त्या पाकळ्या दिसतात. ऍक्च्युली दोज आर द फ्लावर्स. आणि वरती तुम्हाला जे मेटलचे मोठं पेट्राइड दिसतं आहे कलर, हा संपूर्ण त्याचा स्टामेन आहे. So let us go ahead. This is again a close-up of the wild variety, which is generally found in the Western Ghats and which is truly bedding. The inflorescence, it is a terminal spike or a simple raceme. The flowers are bracteate, bisexual, they are complete, they are zygomorphic. So obviously there is a bract. The flowers are bisexual, they are complete because all the floral parts are present, they are zygomorphic, and now they are trimerous. So the floral parts are in multiples of 3. They are epigynous, that is, the ovary is inferior, and the flowers are large and showy in size. They are much more brighter and bigger. Calyx sepals are 3, they are free, they are petaloid, and this calyx is persistent. It is present at the base. It remains with the fruit, and it is having the imbricate estivation. Corolla also, the petals are 3, they are free. The sepaloid means sometimes it is the petaloid green color or sepaloid. It may be, again, actually it is wrongly written, it's not sepaloid, it is petaloid. It's colored and with the imbricate estivation. Now this is something about the androecium. That's why I have written it separately. Androecium is highly modified and it is comprising a showy part of the flower. So what we see as a flower, it is not a flower, it is a It is a component of the androecium. The stamens are 6 generally, but sometimes they may be reduced to 4. And these stamens are actually arranged in 2 whorls, outer whorl and inner whorl. Only one anther lobe of one stamen, that is out of 6, only one anther lobe, because you know that stamens are 6 means the stamens are having the filament and anther lobe. Now the filaments are not present in the form of a single stalk, but they are present as a large petal, and they are containing 2 anther lobes, but out of the 2 anther lobes, only one is functional. And that's why only one anther lobe of the stamen, that is also the posterior position, it is fertile, and the other anther lobe is long with the filament, and it becomes petaloid. It's colored. So what we see as the petals, they are not petals, but they are modified staminodes. The other 2 stamens of the internal whorl are connate to form a curved petaloid staminode, or it may be called as a labellum in the outer whorl. So you can see the flower is not that way regular, it is zygomorphic, and because of that there is one labellum is getting formed because of this. So the stamens are, or the anterior stamen is suppressed, while the 2 lateral ones, they are modified into a petaloid staminode. So this is a sort of a morphological phylogeny or morphological significance of the androecium. Now let us go to the family now. Androecium, the stamens are 6, they are free, they are petaloid. The stamens are exerted, that is, they are coming out of the flower. The filaments are large and chewy, they are petaloid. Only half the stamen and the lobe is fertile, and remaining 5.5 they are sterile. The petaloid staminodes, the fertile stamen is monothecous. It is laterally attached and opening by longitudinal slit. Now, in this family, Gynoecium, the ovary is tricarpillary, syncarpous, inferior. It is trilocular, but they are having the 3 chambers with many ovules on axial placenta. So it is a very typical condition of the Gynoecium. The style is blade shaped, it is flat, not round. And it is also petaloid, it is also colored, red in color. The stigma is present, but it is very inconspicuous. One cannot distinguish this. And then we are having an ovary wall, which is having the external glands on the surface. So the ovary wall is glandular. If we want to see this character, we can suppose to go back. Yes, you can see the small glands. अगदी खाली बघा त्या कॅरा इंडिकाच्या खाली जे तिथे तुम्हाला ओव्हरी दिसते ड्राय झालेली, त्याच्यावरती असे छोटे छोटे तुम्हाला ग्लँड्स दिसतील. Obviously, the fruit is a dry, dehiscent capsule with persistent calyx. The seeds are endospermic with small embryo, and obviously the pollination is entomophilous. But generally, the plants are propagating by vegetative propagation because of the rhizomatous stem. Now, these are sketches. You can see in the diagram. Now you can see the ovary, the glandular ovary. खाली देखील बघा, त्या दोन्ही डायग्राम मध्ये तुम्हाला तो ग्लँड्युलर ओव्हरीचा त्याच्यामध्ये असणारे ग्लँड्स तुम्हाला दिसतील. आणि इव्हन आता उजवीकडची फिगर बघा, जी ब्लॅक अँड व्हाईट आहे, त्यातली ओव्हरीच्या वरती तुम्हाला तो पर्सिस्टंट कॅलेक्स दिसतो. यू कॅन सी द पर्सिस्टंट कॅलेक्स इन दॅट केस. इकडे देखील तो तुम्हाला दिसतोय, कलर फिगर मध्ये पण दिसतोय. सो दिस इज अ फ्लोरल स्केच or the twig sketch of the Canna indica. And lastly, let us go for the systematic position. Obviously, the division spermatophyta, subdivision angiospermy, and now we have entered into another class, the class Monocotyledone. As I told you, the ovary is inferior, that's why the series is Epigyne, and flower, the family is Canaceae. Remember, in monocotyledons, the series is not further classified into order, but the series is directly classified into family. And that's why what we see is after series, a family, देर इज नो एनी ऑर्डर. परीक्षेमध्ये लिहिताना किंवा मल्टिपल क्वेश्चनचे उत्तर देताना हे नेहमी लक्षात ठेवायचं की मोनोक्लॅमॅडी आणि मोनोकॉटिलॉन्स दोन्हीमध्ये ऑर्डर्स नाहीत as per Bentham-Noether system of classification. Whereas in all others, the series is not there. The class is directly divided into orders with the following the family. So this was another small family with the beginning of monocotyledons. We started today's discussion with the Nyctaginaceae, which is belonging to the monoclamidy of dicots, which was having the three genera, Bougainvillea, Mirabilis jalapa, and Boravia diffusa. And now we have studied a monogeneric family or monophytic family from the monocots, and the family was Canaceae, and the genus is Cana indica because this genus is present in India. So with these two small families, now today we are supposed to stop now. We are going to continue tomorrow again at 2 o'clock, and we'll be studying our last family. And that family is very interesting, very important, highly complicated and modified. And that family is family Orchidaceae. So with this, we will stop for the present. If at all you are happy and satisfied, let's conclude. If there are any questions, you can ask me in the chat box, or otherwise report your attendance in the chat box, and then